See how this audio setup works. Testing, testing, 1, 2. See how this audio setup works. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Let me try speaking directly into the microphone. So, hello. This is an audio test to see if this new setup will work. Testing, testing, 1, 2. See if this new setup will work. Testing, testing, 1, 2. That sounds good to me. Turn that volume all the way up. Make sure that is good to go. Alright. One last check. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. One last check. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Alright, sounds good. So, I am not using the microphone out of my headset right now. I'm using a USB microphone instead. The other one works fine. It's just it picks up me breathing a lot. It's not loud enough to where it can hear me over the audio of the game without it picking up my breathing. So I'm going to try using this USB microphone and see if that helps. So let's I should probably say what we're doing, huh? So last stream we finished Shadowbringers. And obviously the first thing I want to do after that, like, I haven't touched anything. I've done a couple leveling roulettes, but I haven't, like, unlocked the expert dungeons yet. I'll be streaming those as well. First thing I want to do is come talk to our boy Sid and see what this is. So without any further delay, let me get all these quests. Off the screen. Damn it. Damn it. There. Okay. Sid, how's it going? Our closure. Huh. Interesting. They will tell you you are 1 and you are 2. You can choose. Ah, Allah, it so happens I have a letter for you. But before we talk about that, mind telling me what you've been getting yourself into lately? You and your scions, I mean. I have an inkling, perhaps. I went and saved another world as it happens. I had to go and kill a whole host of sin eaters. I went to the first, it was cool. Come again? Reflections of the Source, Parallel Worlds, Sin Eaters. What in the 7 hells are you on about? Something tells me this is only going to make any kind of sense if you walk me through it from the beginning, step by step. Well, you see, back in ARR, I met this guy named Grahatia, and then I helped him do this stuff in the Crystal Tower, and then, okay, maybe not the whole story. Right then, so to sum it up, you were swept up into yet another realm, shaking give me one more take of that. Right then, so to sum it up, you were swept into yet another realm-shaking conflict, were you? Well, of course you were. You've an insatiable hunger for it, don't you? And even when you bite off more than you can chew, you refuse to let go. What? As if you didn't know? Hells, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I suspected you were a particular blend of impulsive and stubborn. Takes a special kind of bastard to become a Dark Knight, much less a warrior of light, don't you think? You traveled unto a doomed world and pledged your sword to a futile cause. You fought and you fought and you fought, and in the end, you won the day. Though I know it wasn't without loss, without sacrifice. Victories like that are always bought with blood. But you and your comrades paid that price all the same. That faraway land and her people live on because you all were willing to fight to the bitter end. Because you were too stubborn to die. And because of love, I'm sure. Being grim and dark will only get you so far, don't you remember? It's like the Mughals, like Sir Ompang. Is that how you pronounce that? Ompang? I never figured that out. Let's go with Ompang. Like Sir Ompang himself said, the flame in the abyss, the love you bear for the ones you hold most dear, that is a source of true strength. So what you're saying is the strength to protect what matters. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Allah could have never made it this far if his heart wasn't filled to the brim with love. That's right. Is this a roundabout way of asking me about my heart's desires? I'd sooner pose that question to Sid. Let's not say we did, eh? I'm sure that Thancred fellow you mentioned would provide a far more meaningful and interesting response. Having to look after the reincarnation of his surrogate daughter is certainly, though I suppose on some level I can relate. What? I've not once thought of you as my father. Well, no, I mean, we're not even the same race, so of course no one would ever look at us and assume, oh, Sid, come on. A family can be a big dragon man and a tiny elf girl. Come on. What? If you want to put a label on it, then what would you prefer? Master and disciple? Manservant and noblewoman? Sid. How about you compose hearts? And whatever you damn well like. Gods, you can be so daft sometimes. Oh. Hey! What did I tell you about calling me that? Children, am I right? Best we give her a moment to cool her head. For now, let's talk about the letter I mentioned earlier. Who is this from? It's addressed to you, but who penned it I cannot say. It was delivered to me by a young woman of the Broom, Looney, I believe her name was. Unless that's pronounced Looney, eh? Said she'd seen us with you out and about in Ishgard before, and reckoned that if she left it with us, you'd eventually be around to pick it up. Before you ask, no, I have not taken a peek, so its contents remain a complete and utter mystery to me. As for the sender, you'll have to pester Lunier at the Holy Stables if you want to know more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an angry girl to mollify. Man, no one can wear that AF2 gear quite like Sid does. I gotta say. Unsigned letter. Within the sealed envelope is a paper, which you unfold to find a message written in a strangely familiar scrawl. Alamorn, you'll forgive me for the sudden correspondence and the secrecy. You helped me, in a way, once upon a time. It's past time I said as much, and so here we are. Feels like a lifetime ago, come to think of it. You've been through quite a lot since then, accomplished incredible things. I'd like to think that in some way I was part of your journey. Far from the best, no doubt. But for me and my own journey, I think it's safe to say that you've been well. There's no suitable words to describe it, really. Water! I've done things, made decisions. Looking back, I can't help but feel more than a little foolish. But such is life, and we have to seize what few opportunities we have for closure. Even if it is through a written word and not face to face. So wherever you are, I hope you're happy, still fighting, still adventuring, still doing what you love. Be well. The letter bears no signature or any obvious clues as the author's identity. Perhaps Lunier can shed some light on the mystery. Skysteel. Excuse me, miss. It's you. It's really you, Alamorn, my hero. Honestly, I never thought I'd get to see you again, much less speak with you. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't remember me at all, do you? I'm not surprised, all in a day's work, I suppose. Saving silly little fools like me. And it was so long ago when you rescued me from those temple knights who were trying to take me away from my grandmother. Ah, okay. I still remember it like it was yesterday, though, you swinging that great big sword of yours, bellowing all kinds of terrible threats and sending them running. I'm sure some might say you overdid it, but thanks to you, my grandmother and I never heard from that lot again. And ever since Sir Amaric and his allies came into power, we've had a lot less of that trouble all over. But let me guess, you didn't come all this way just to see me, did you? The letter, huh? I thought so. It wasn't me who wrote it, I can tell you that much. I got it from a knight I befriended after tending to his chocobo a couple times. Sir Petronald. I'm gonna assume that's how that's pronounced. He said it was to be delivered to the hero of the Scions, a peerless warrior with 1,000 victories to his name. After he described your features in detail, it all fell into place. And since I was certain you'd eventually pay a visit to your friends, I offered to take it to them. Anyway, he's the one you need to talk to if you're after the sender. Maybe check the congregation? I mean, that's where knights congregate, I presume. Is this just going to be like all a huge roundabout way of saying Fray sent the letter? I don't want to automatically assume that it's Fray, right? Because right now that's the obvious choice to me. Somehow my inner darkness manifested itself long enough to write a letter. It was probably during the final boss. When I summoned him, he just went off to the side and scribbled down a few notes. and then teleported to Ishgard, and I went to the wrong place and started passing this letter around. It should be so funny, he's not gonna know it's me. I know it's you. I know it was you, me. Hello? Hey, Handle Loop. Lucia. Patronald. Yeah. How may I be of service to you, Master Moore? Who wrote this dank letter? The letter? What a relief it seems to have arrived unmolested. That's a word thrown around quite a lot in this game. It was entrusted to me by Orella of Rogger's Reach. After the battle at Grimlit Dark, I spent a few nights there, you see. I can only assume that whoever sent it to the Reach had heard tell of the battle between you and Lord Xenos, and how you have been brought to Barber. Lord Xenos. Well, that would make me think it's a Stydian, but this isn't the Dragoon quest line. Interesting. However, by the time it arrived, you had long since been spirited away to Ishgard. Had Lumiere not recognized you from my stories, I do not know how I might have seen it to your hand. If you seek the author, mayhap you should pay a visit to the Reach. I know only what I told you, but surely Orella can tell you more. May the Fury watch over you and keep you, friend. Oh boy. From Ishgard to Rogger's Reach. I still have this as a shortcut, oddly enough. What am I going to switch that to, I wonder? Somewhere in the first, no doubt, but where? I have one at the Crystarium and one at Yulmore. So we'll have to see, I don't know. Maybe Rocktiga just because I like it. No, the Tempest. It should be the Tempest, duh. Obviously. Now that I think about that. Oh god, I still gotta get all the 8th currents. Pleasure to see you. Lost that long-haired boy of yours again. This is about the letter, is it? It came with a shipment of supplies from Little Alamigo, as I recall. Good gods. We're going that far back? I remember the Dark Knight quest taking us through Little Alamigo, or somewhere close to it. I can only presume the sender was hoping that Commander Hux would see it to you personally, but I'm not surprised it escaped her notice given the chaos at Grimlit Dark and after. It found its way into my medical supplies, and as you well know, I decided to let that Ishgardian knight take charge of its delivery. In any event, I advise you continue your search at Little Alamigo. If anyone there knows this letter's author, it would be Gundobald. Bald Gun. Is Lise here? Let's go say hi to Lise. Lise! Lise! Girl, you would not believe the shit that has happened to me. She is not here. Where did Lise go? She didn't get teleported to the first. So where did Lise go? I completely forget what happened to Lise. Is she off doing missions or something? Either way. Little Alamigo. God, I do not remember what happened in so long ago. Just that I think it's one of the first places Fray took us to. He's like, yo, do this and let your darkness out. It'll be sick. You don't know how sick it'll be when you let your darkness out, dude. You gotta do it. Alright, bald gun. Hath been a while. Well met, Allah. I was not expecting a visit. What brings you to southern Thenland to stay? This letter, you say, and you seek the author. If you read it, then you know their heart, what you meant to them, how you changed their life for the better. It is a feeling I understand all too well, which is why I agreed to send this letter with the supplies for Roger's Reach. Yet you never were one to let a mystery remain unsolved, were you? You seek answers, closure. I will not deny you this. At the Red Rooster Stead in Lower Lenosha, you will find a man named Goatherd. Speak with him. Perhaps then you will find a measure of peace. Lower Lenosha. We're going all over, aren't we? I don't remember coming here for the Dark Knight quest. Then again, it's been a while. When I first started doing Dark Knight, it was like end of Heavensward, beginning of Stormblood. So it's been a few years at least. Trying to remember all the quest lines that come through here. I think Summoner had a quest here. I think either Warrior or Paladin. I remember something being on that bridge specifically. Was that Dark Knight? The one where you tell people to calm the fuck down? I can't remember. I don't think so. There were two people arguing on the bridge. Two caravans. And you go up to them and you're like, yo, calm your shit. And they're like, okay, we'll calm our shit. Mr. Goatherd. Oh God, it's you. But why? Why? You really don't remember any of it. The Kickern bandits. A certain merchant who may have overstepped his bounds just a trifle. You're a right bloody mess when you returned to the dry docks with my wares. And I mean bloody. I say is none of what I'm telling you ringing a bell, really. It's been a while, dude. Not even the part where I refused to thank you and demanded that you pay me restitution for my You yourself. Wait. Now I think I remember. I remember a conversation with Fray where he's like, look at how ungrateful this piece of shit is. Like, Fray's like, you just saved his life and and he's demanding that you pay for his shit. I think I remember that. God, was this had to be like the first quest or something outside of Ishgard. So maybe like the 35 or the level 40 quest? Good gods. Well, seeing as I've already confessed it, I may as well reiterate, it was me. That was just the beginning of my bad luck, as it happens. A string of bad decisions left me in debt to some very unforgiving fellows. Before I knew it, they had taken damn near everything I owned. I was friendless, penniless, hopeless, and let me tell you, running afoul of the Warrior of Light had not done me any favors either. There was time when I couldn't help but blame you for all my misfortune. Then one day, when I was rummaging through my meager possessions, I had an epiphany. I stumbled upon a package from that shipment you recovered for me that ill-fated day. Flowering bulbs, stained with kicker blood, but viable for cultivation, still brimming with the potential to grow and thrive. Before I knew it, I was cradling the package to my breast, sobbing and moaning like a mad fool. For a fool is exactly what I had been. I had been offered a kindness without letter lien, and instead of thanking this generous hero, had spat in his face. So I left that life behind, save for the bulbs I brought with me here, apprenticed myself to the botanist, and resolved to start anew. And wouldn't you know it, the stubborn little fiends finally bloomed for me. I suppose it's only fitting that you'd show up again that very day. I've 1,000 regrets, but none greater than how I spoke to you. I say this not to beg your forgiveness, but to tell you how you've changed me for the better, and to thank you for the opportunity. I do have one request, if you are amiable to do it. I pray you accept a flower, one of the precious few that has bloomed, a token of my heartfelt appreciation for my personal savior. Admittedly, this particular breed is perhaps best suited for funerals and farewells, but if you'd rather not keep it for yourself, perhaps there's someone else who might welcome it. He's still with me. He's not gone. He's part of me. Unless we're talking about the original Fray, he is very gone. Someone else indeed. Chat mode and say, enter Fray. Call out your comrade goatherd Central Pilots. Where exactly? Camp Dragonhead. All right. I miss this music. Still one of my favorite tracks. Before I got to Heavensward, this was the Dragoon theme for me. Fray, there is no response. Yet there can be no answer but this, can there? So let us wait for a time, you and I, in the cold and in the snow, in the dark. Bring back that Heavensward theme. Hmm. Is that telling me to go over there? Clever, clever, clever. Or are we just playing it by ear? No matter. I wanted this once, more than anything, a chance to speak and be heard. But neither of us needs it anymore. And if we were to look deep within ourselves, we would realize that we never did. We are the stories we tell ourselves, the brave hero, the tortured soul, the altruist, the pragmatist. They will tell you who they see, but you and you alone know who you are. For I speak only for myself. If you find comfort in my words, they are yours for the taking. But that is your choice, now and ever after, as it has always been. Now comes your part, to cloak yourself in the fiction, to breathe life into the dead, to give a voice to the voiceless. As we did together that day when you gave us our answer. Was it ever mine? That is exactly what I wanted. That is exactly what I wanted. We go together as team, you and me. Every single fight, from here to the end of 14. I did not intend for that to rhyme, but it did anyway, and I will take it. I can't believe I have a personal attachment to my fucking character's inner darkness. What the fuck? Welcome back, Allah. As you can see, Riel and I are getting along swimmingly. So you needn't worry about us in the slightest, not one bit. So what of that mysterious unsigned letter? Did your grand search for answers lead you anywhere interesting? An old acquaintance. Closure, perhaps. That's so. Well, glad to hear it, I suppose. That's it. A dark night's night. A dark day's night. Let's see. I'm currently rocking that Shadowbringer tag. Let's see if this gives us something else. The Boundless Dark. Shadowbringer Alamorn, or Alamorn the Boundless Dark. Tough choice. Of the Sunless Sea is another good one, but... Huh. I'm gonna go with the Boundless Dark. I think it will be slightly less used than everyone else using Shadowbringer. But this one has personal attachment to it. Now, there we are. That was nice. It was really nice. I really liked that. I'm curious to see where the story goes from here. Oh, we're gonna have to wait another 2 years for that to happen. I imagine the reasoning I say, at least, for why they did it this way is because, well, we can't take Sid to the first with us, so I don't know. Hopefully, we'll get a more standard job quest line come next expansion. Oh man. Couldn't do it. Oh, it's only been 40 minutes. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go unlock the expert dungeons. And when I get those ready to go, I'll start streaming again. I figured this would be a shorter stream. It's only one quest. But I am very satisfied with that. It's closure. It is. God, what were the quest names? There was Our Answer, Our End, and now Our Closure. What will be the next Our quest? Who knows? Either way, it was good to see a Steam again, in cutscene form. All I need is 50 blood, and press that button and it'll come back. But till I get everything unlocked, I'm gonna end stream here. So I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching, this will be up on YouTube later. But thanks for stopping by. Bye bye.